You're listening to the Morning Drive podcast from Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3, recapping the night that was in the world of sports.
A little bit later on tonight, we'll have the Astros and the Diamondbacks. That'll be at 8. And then the Rangers playing at Seattle tonight.
And also bringing some humor to your day.
Was it pretty big?
Yeah, I mean,
it's impressive.
Yeah.
Was it fascinating?
I thought it was fascinating. It kind of smelled, but I mean.
Hear the show live weekday mornings at 6 on Double T 97.3 or on the Double T 97.3 mobile app.
You know, if I'm Matt Campbell, the Iowa State coach, I'm getting that and I'm playing that right before the game and saying, we ain't having none of that tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a disappointing night for them. I don't know
sure
that.
Probably some of my motivational tactics probably would not be received well.
I'm not saying they wouldn't be received well. I just
you don't think they'd work?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it would be all that you need to get pumped up and ready for the game. I don't think I would be good at that job either. So,
see, I see that's the difference between you and I, though, is that I think I would be good at that job, with that tactic. And I would try to implement some things like that, but I don't think it would work well. I think you are better at the self-assessment of something like that, and recognize that how you would want to do it or how you think it should be done probably would fall on deaf ears. I would just bowl through it.
I think I would. We would need somebody with way more energy than me to be that guy.
I could be your guy for that. I could be your energy guy. I could be special assistant to the head coach, Jamie Lent. So, if
I need someone,
if you ever need someone, just let me know. College basketball last night. How about number 11 Texas taking down Gonzaga, 93-74, a 19-point beatdown. Last night in Austin.
You'll understand if we don't exactly celebrate that one, right?
Oh, no, I get it. My point is going to be is that, we know how tough the Big 12 is. We don't have to be told that. And you've got Texas winning over Gonzaga, and then future Big 12 member Houston meeting Texas Southern and winning that game 83-48. And then a team that you potentially could see next week, you got to get by Creighton first, and they have to win. But number 9, Arkansas, with a win last night. I mean, they played South Dakota State, so I don't know if they were kind of looking forward to Hawaii or not, but 71-56 was the final in that game.
Yeah, impressive what the Longhorns did last night. They looked really good offensively. A lot of different weapons on that team, and it was like I said, impressive to watch what they did on offense. And it shows you where their ceiling is. Their ceiling is really high. Now, we've seen from Chris Beard teams there also, at times don't play the same way. And, basketball is a sport that some days you're hitting shots, and it felt like Texas couldn't miss a 3 last night. And some days you're not hitting shots. And last night they were definitely falling for the horns. But that was an impressive win. Probably, the most impressive in the Big 12 Conference this year. Leapfrogs the Jayhawks after their victory the other night against Duke. That was a really nice win for Texas.
So that was the only game in the Big 12 last night. Tonight, K-State plays Kansas City. K-State is 2-0 in the season, and TCU at 2-1. They'll take on University of Louisiana Monroe. Both those teams are 2-1 in Big 12 play so far. So there you go. Baseball yesterday, 2 Cy Young winners announced, and both unanimous. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy. I guess the people that vote on that don't have as much of a problem of voting somebody unanimous as the Hall of Famers and maybe the MVP awards. Because there have been, I think there's only one Hall of Fame guy that was unanimous, but
Mariano Rivera.
But Justin Verlander wins for the American League. I mean, he was terrific. He's 39 years old, and he wins for the 3rd time. So good for him. That's a club of fewer than 12 that have done that in Major League Baseball history. So he's obviously a World Series champion, And
pretty good year for
pretty good year. All 30 first place votes for him. So it's these 30 second place votes were split between, is it Cisse for the White Sox? Is that right?
I think that is correct, yeah.
Okay. And then Shohei Ohtani got 9 as well. So Verlander also won in 2011 and 2019. 10 others have captured at least 3 Cy Youngs. That includes Randy Johnson, Steve Carlton, Greg Maddux, Sandy Koufax, Pedro Martinez, Jim Palmer, and Tom Seaver. All of those are in the Hall of Fame. The other 2 eventually will be Clayton Kershaw and Max Scherzer. And then the other one that is on this list is Roger Clemens, and he has yet to be inducted because of his ties to performance-enhancing drugs. So I guess, I don't know, maybe.
Or that he was a jerk.
Or that he was a jerk.
Because there's plenty of guys in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
We all know.
Yeah.
We're using.
Right. Mm-hmm. Do you think he ever gets in?
I don't think Clemens and Bonds are going to get in.
Okay.
Unless there's some special vote put on many years later. I think it's so dumb.
Did you see where Pete Rose was like begging baseball, sent a letter?
I did not.
That asking to be put into the Hall of Fame, be up for consideration.
Yeah, my give a care for Pete Rose has dropped dramatically over the years.
Sandy Alcantara gets it in the National League. He got all 30 first place votes. Are you good with that too?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Just want to run it by you before we give it a morning drive blessing.
Getting your sports day started the right way. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, breaking down the biggest games.
If Texas Tech does not win the Big 12 football conference, who are you rooting for to win the conference if Tech does not win it this year?
Well, busting some chops along the way.
I hold back on sending you stuff. I mean, I'm very, very, very judicious.
We spend 3 hours a day, 5 days a week together. Why would we need to communicate during the weekends?
Right.
Save it for the show.
We do. We save it for the show.
Tune into the Morning Drive live weekdays from 6 to 9 on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3.
November 17th, 2022. It's a Thursday. Week before Thanksgiving with This Day in Sports History. Here is Jeff McGuire.
Going to start in 1884. Cops arrest boxer John L. Sullivan in the second round of his boxing match for being, quote, cruel.
Cruel. Was he beating the bejesus out of somebody?
That would be my understanding, yeah.
Okay.
Wow. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
1940, Green Bay Packers become the first NFL team to travel by a plane.
Okay.
1959, San Francisco Giants future Hall of Fame slugger Willie McCovey wins his National League Rookie of the Year. 1985, New York Jets best offensive production ever. They beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 62-28.
Nice.
They thought they were back too. Fireman Ed, Jets, Jets, right?
I bet they said that a lot that day.
I bet they did too.
1991, in an All-American final, Pete Sampras wins his first of 5 ATP Tour World Championship tennis titles with a 3-6, 7-6, 6-3, 6-4 victory over Jim Courier in Frankfurt, Germany. And in 2013, Jimmy Johnson wins the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series for the 6th time. It is National Homemade Bread Day.
Okay. You a fan of the homemade bread?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
How can you not be? Unless you're allergic.
Mm-hmm.
But just the smell of fresh bread,
sure,
I'm in.
Man, when the radio station, we were right below the Mrs. Baird's plant there on East Broadway.
That's evil.
Oh, my goodness. You'd walk outside and smell that bread. They never delivered any to us. But I mean, we were right down the hill from them.
You were the neighbors.
I felt like we were, and we never took them any T-shirts, so bad on us.
Mm-hmm.
It's also National Baklava Day, which is a layered pastry dessert made of pastry filled with chopped nuts and sweetened with syrup or honey.
You would seem to me as a guy that would like the baklava, but probably the name of it disturbs you.
Go read it one more time.
It's basically pastry, nuts, and a syrup or honey type sweetener.
Okay. Yeah, I could get it.
There's a lot
that.
to it. There's layers to it, right?
Well, that's where the pastry comes
Not
from.
a huge honey guy, but the syrup probably I'd be a fan of.
It was a very popular sweet pastry of the Ottoman cuisine.
Ottoman cuisine?
Ottoman cuisine. As in the Ottoman Empire.
Okay.
You know, way back in the day.
Not where I put my chair, my feet.
No.
Yeah, right.
No, different Ottoman.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Danny DeVito, who's 78. Rachel McAdams is 44. Martin Scorsese is 80. Lorne Michaels from Saturday Night Live is 78. Ryan Braun, 39. Mitch Williams is 58.
The pitcher, Mitch Williams?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And Jim Boeheim is 78.
Goodness.
And on this day...
Do you have any kids left in college, Jamie? Jim Boeheim.
Yeah, I think he's...
Buddy still around?
I think Buddy's got at least one more year. I think he's just a junior.
Guy's going to be 100 years old.
Well, no, next year's 79.
I know.
Yeah, I was going to say, 80 when he graduates. Yeah.
And on this day in 1558, welcome to the Elizabethan age.
Oh.
Queen Elizabeth takes over the crown for Queen Mary I dies.
Mm-hmm.
The long reign of Elizabeth, who became known as the Virgin Queen for her reluctance to endanger her authority through marriage, coincided with the flourishing of the English Renaissance, associated with such renowned authors as William Shakespeare. By her death in 1603, England had become was a major world power in every aspect, and Queen Elizabeth passed into history as one of England's greatest monarchs. And that is this day in sports history.
6:50 this morning here on the Morning Drive.
We really could do like an entire this day in history about the Elizabethan age.
Oh, man, I'd rather we not.
Oh, you'd be surprised on the stuff that, like, you want military? Covered. You want literature? You want theater? You want exploration? It's all there.
You want a nap?
Well, yeah, but that's a daily thing.
Yeah, that would probably put you to sleep.
No, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. The Elizabethan age. Okay, some things here from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We talked about Texas beating Gonzaga. This person says, I don't think the Texas Tech men, sweep UT this year in basketball. If they even win one, they look solid. Well,
they look better than solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look really good.
I didn't realize Texas had so many returners. Mark Pugh called his AD after the game last night and told him he wants no part of joining the Big 12. All right. That's get you up to speed on that. Last night, speaking of baklava, okay, a dessert treat that we have discussed many times came up during the Lady Raider game last night. I think it was because somebody was camped out in the lane, and Fink, I don't think he knows anything about our s'mores discussion. Said somebody was camped out. They called a 3.3-second violation. He goes, it's not like they're down there cooking s'mores or anything. It was like s'mores. Okay,
S'mores.
Yeah, he got it right.
Literally a scene in a movie about it.
He got it right. S'mores. He got it right.
You're killing me.
I mean, there's probably many people who have not seen the movie, Jeff, but many
listen to this station?
Many more that have grown up their whole life saying s'mores.
S'mores, yeah. Anyway, I thought of you guys last night when he said that, so I was like, okay, there you go. Mm-hmm.
It's good.
It's
a good thing to be associated with.
S'mores. Okay. 6:52 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Take your thoughts, comments. Yates Flooring Center chat line. It's presented by the fine folks at Yates Flooring Center. And then, of course, the Double T 97.3 mobile app presented by Happy State Bank. Benchmark Hotline is open as well. 806-771-0973. You spoke about the Packers on this day in history becoming the first team to fly. Well, they don't have to fly anywhere tonight. They get to host the Tennessee Titans. Would imagine Derrick Henry's going to have a big night tonight.
Anytime Tennessee steps on the field, I think he's a major focus for them.
Packers not necessarily known for stopping the run.
Yeah. How about the fact that they're thinking about moving the Bills-Colts game because they're expecting 4 to 6 inches of snow? I mean, that's Bills-Browns, I should say. Bills and Browns, man. That's what you expect, right?
Right, yeah. Where are they going to move it to?
I don't know.
That seems crazy to me. Where is that game scheduled for? Buffalo,
I think, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but, I mean, either one's a place that gets tons of snow, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's 4 to 6 is like a pedestrian for those guys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why would they do that? That seems weird to me. It seems like the people in Buffalo would be outraged that their toughness would be questioned.
It feels like it's perfect for those two teams.
Right. You always had the lake effect. You know, when the Browns played there at Municipal Stadium, you know, they always had the lake effect. And in Buffalo, I mean, I think if you went into Buffalo today, you just kind of expect to have flurries. 4 to 6 inches, whatever. I bet there's a lot of harumping about that in Buffalo. On Bills 97.3 this morning.
You're tuned in to the Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3, recapping the night that was in the world of sports.
That's not to say that they don't respect the run game that you have, but you're talking about one quarterback leading the conference in passing so far this year. And remember, he didn't start the first game.
All right.
Still played a lot, though.
And also bringing some humor to your day.
I just don't want to disappoint you. As much as I disappoint you, I don't want to disappoint you in some things that you expect from me.
Hear the show live weekday mornings at 6 on Double T 97.3 or on the Double T 97.3 mobile app.
Jamie Linton, Jeff McGuire, I'm Chuck Heinz. We have Week 10 NFL football for you on the air tonight. The Green Bay Packers take on the Tennessee Titans. 6 o'clock broadcast time, kick just after 7 tonight. If you were going to root for a team in this game, do you like Derrick Henry? Do you like the Packers? Do you care so little that you don't care?
I wouldn't say I care very much. I'd pull for the Packers just because I have a brother-in-law that's a Packers fan.
Okay.
So I'll let his team win.
Okay. Going back to our discussion of Cleveland and Buffalo, the problem is potentially 4 to 6 feet.
Feet. Yes, I think I said inches.
Yeah. Feet.
Should have said feet.
Yeah.
But I just think, man, Buffalo and Cleveland,
come on.
That would be so much fun. And that's what those guys, that's what we're here for.
Right. And the TV boys and girls will tell you that, especially for snow in game, regardless of kind of what it is, for whatever reason, snow attracts eyeballs.
Last night, wasn't it Western Michigan and Central Michigan? They had a pretty good snowstorm going on there. That looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's probably big numbers for that.
Mm-hmm.
Big numbers.
There was nothing more fun as a kid than playing football in the snow.
I agree. I agree. It was challenging.
Never hurt to get tackled.
No, not at all. Then sometimes a snowball fight would break out. So there'd be a little bit of that going on.
Tough part was when you would get tackled and it would go down the back of your shirt.
Yes.
And then it was cold, and you couldn't get away from that cold.
Well, it was snow, so yes, it's going to be cold. Yeah.
But the 4 to 6 feet, that's a lot of snow.
But we don't really believe that's going to happen, right?
I don't. Well, if it was here,
that's some Buffalo
and this is nothing
guy.
against
It's some Buffalo weather guy being like, "Oh yes, I get to report this."
It's some kind of snow apocalypse.
It'll be like 3 feet.
Grocery store shelves will be completely
That's still
empty.
an awful lot of snow in a day.
You're absolutely right, Jeff.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
now that it's they're saying 4 to 6, even if it's 3, I understand them thinking about moving this game.
Heck, even if it's 2 feet, if they're 50% wrong.
Well, it is still Buffalo and
Cleveland.
And Cleveland, so 2 feet of snow, though. They might look at that like we look at a windstorm, like, 70-mile-an-hour winds, huh? Cool. Let me know when the dust shows up. We'll be fine until then, kind of concept. So I get it.
You were, Jamie, talking about concern for Iowa State with, the amount that of stopping their run, okay? I mean, it's not like they're gashing people. They average 100 yards a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's fair.
So I mean, they're not particularly prolific. The problem is can your offense move the ball against them. And that's where the opponents have had struggles. Now, opponents have rushed for about 105 yards a game. And the, opponents, in terms of just total offense, have certainly been challenged. The passing yardage, they've thrown for 1,765 yards, roughly, so 1,752, 175 a game. They've thrown almost the same number of touchdowns as what Iowa State has scored, 15 for the opponents, 17 for Iowa State. Rushing touchdowns, 5 for the opponents, 9 for Iowa State. But they just haven't. Neither team, Iowa State nor their opponents have scored very much, and that's what it's kind of come down to, is that Iowa State has been extremely stingy.
They're good on defense and bad on offense, so they'll keep the other team from scoring, and then they don't score much themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and they hold the teams to about a 29% clip on third down. So
probably get them in a lot of third and longs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the run game is so huge in this one. You have to be able to, if they're not going to put many in the box, you have to be able to hurt them in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like over the years the Red Raiders have been able to do that much against them.
Now, when you look at Texas Tech in this, the last time that they went to Ames, and you hope that he has this kind of night, Tony Bradford Jr. set a career high with 8 tackles. He also had a tackle for loss and 2 quarterback hurries. He had 11 stops. He's had 11 stops during his career against Iowa State, including 15 for a loss. 15 for a loss, or one and a half for a loss. That makes more sense. But that game in Ames 2 years ago, you lost 31-15. It was a COVID year, so only 13,502 were there at Jack Trice. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you can get a big night out of Tony Bradford Jr. That'd be good. He's been a little dinged up, but yeah, on third down, get this: opponents against the Iowa State defense are 38 of 130. That's 29%. Opponents have gone for it 13 times on fourth down and been successful 6 times. That's 46%. The other thing that's interesting: red zone scoring. They've been in the red zone. Opponents have 24 times. They've scored 15 touchdowns. Conversely, Iowa State's been in the red zone 36 times, and they've scored 20 touchdowns. So more touchdowns, but a less percentage than their opponents. But still, man, if you're in the red zone, you just got to get in the end zone when you're playing Iowa State. I mean, you'd say that about anybody, but I mean, scoring is going to be potentially a premium.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're not going to score a ton.
Right? No. At least we don't. We certainly don't think so. Iowa State in scoring offense, they're 10th in the Big 12. Total offense, 10th in the Big 12. Rushing offense, 10th in the Big 12. Passing offense, they're 4th. Now, from a defensive standpoint, against the run, they're 1st. Total defense, they're 1st. Passing defense, they're 1st. But quarterback sacks per game, they're 10th. So maybe there's an opportunity. Tackles for loss, they're 7th. Turnover margin, they're just ahead of Texas Tech. They're -5 on the year. They're 8th in the Big 12. Texas Tech is -6 on the year. They're 9th in the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
So, last week, coming into the game, KU was like 2nd, and the Red Raiders were 10th. And that, and they weren't able to get any turnovers, and Tech was able to get a couple of turnovers. The field goal kicker helped you out by hitting the upright a couple of times. Got a stop on fourth down, a couple of them. And I feel like those stops on fourth down pretty much as good as a turnover. Okay, it turns the ball over clearly, but I mean, that it seems like that momentum that you get off of converting on fourth down kind of propels you down the field a little bit. Mm-hmm. And certainly, Texas Tech has shown numbers on that in terms of kind of how they show the fourth down success. Tech's 26 of 44 on fourth down conversions so far this year, and they parlay that into points. So they've done a really good job of converting that. The 59% conversion of fourth down tries has resulted in 96 points, and then the failed fourth downs have resulted in 51 points for opponents. So the net of that is 55 points.
Yeah, a lot's been made of it. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, I preferred last weekend where fourth downs were not a factor.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we played a much more complete, sound game on both sides of the football when we weren't setting ourselves up for fourth down. Instead, we were going after first downs on second and third, and we cut that whole drama out of it.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, you were much, much better at putting yourself in position to get first downs on first and second down than having to worry about fourth down for your first down. 7:24. Jamie's got a question for us next this morning on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3.
Your morning blend of sports.
K-State is coming off a big win over Oklahoma. Of course, the Red Raiders off their 37-34 overtime win over number 22 Texas.
And humor.
Sure to tell them that. You suggested that. And, of course, they got a big laugh.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3. Catch the show live weekdays from 6 to 9 on Double T 97.3 FM or on the Double T 97.3 mobile app. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is presented by Bizarre Solutions. Call them today for a free cybersecurity audit.
What do you want us to answer today?
All right, we're going to talk Red Raider basketball today, Chuck. So we're 3 games into the season. Red Raiders off to a 3-0 start. You have 2 players scoring in double figures, and Kevin O'Banner just over 12 per contest, and Davion Harmon just over 11 per game. My question to you guys today is, which player, as the season moves along, do you think, and you can pick one of those 2 guys too, but which player do you think we will see a lot more from than we are seeing right now?
Ooh.
Not just minutes, but production.
Somebody that's going to stand out, right?
Somebody that's probably going to play better than they've played so far.
Okay.
I mean, and if you wanted to say, well, I think Kevin O'Banner is going to be a 15-point per game scorer. Okay, well, that would, I mean, adding 3 points to your average scoring average is pretty big. So you could say Kevin O'Banner.
Yeah, he seems to me as a guy that's just fine with being very productive, but you don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he seems to be the kind of guy that would go to a party and nobody would know that he was there, but he'd be the most important person at the party. Well, just seems quiet to me.
The most important person at the party is the one who brings the pizza, right?
Sure. I mean, they're up there.
Doesn't have anything to do with like if they're like there. Fun to be around.
No, they're up there.
The pizza.
They're up there. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't ever get the impression. I mean, he could score 30 points, but I mean, be like a quiet 30. It seems like.
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
You know, I mean, it seems like he's not a guy that's going to kind of beat his chest, so to speak. Can I say Jalen Tyson?
Say whatever you want.
I think Jalen Tyson. Jeff?
I don't know. Because you don't have the returning guy on this team that's going to be scoring 25 points a game. You don't have a Keenan Evans type guy or you don't have a Mooney coming in that you're expecting great things from at this point. You just haven't seen it yet. I think you've got a bunch of guys that mesh well together where it's not a one guy's got to score 20. Everyone's going to get like 8 to 12. So I don't know who's going to be the guy that goes 15 more often than not at this point with this team, if that makes any sense. It's a very balanced and what's the word I'm looking for here? Multi-pronged offense, I think, is where you're looking at.
Multi-pronged. Okay.
So I don't know one specific player. I think we're going to see more from all of them as they get more comfortable with the offense. But as a specific player, I don't know who that's going to be this year.
You want to take a stab at it?
It's the first time we've had a pass.
I mean, I feel like right.
Jamie's question of the day.
Yeah,
okay, a pass.
We ask a question.
Okay, there's not like a a ultrasonic beam that's shot through you if you answer, and we don't like it. But okay. I kind of have two guys, so since Jeff didn't have any, I can steal one of his spots.
Sure.
I think Kerwin Walton's a better shooter than he's shown so far. Just 2 for 9 from 3-point range so far in this one. I like the way he moves off the ball. I think he's been solid defensively. We've seen him take a charge. He's got some skins that, considering how much, the games that he's played in and all that. So he's got some skins on the wall. So he has a little experience there. I think he's going to be a good player for you. So Kerwin Walton at this point of the season averaging just 6 points a game. I think that will go up. I think we're going to see him as more like a 10-point per game score, 9 to 10 in that range.
Could you see Elijah Fisher in that same vein?
You didn't let me finish.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I said I had two guys.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Got ahead of you.
Okay, Elijah Fisher is uber talented, and it doesn't take long to see him on the court and see that is just a really, really impressive athlete, right? I mean, I don't care what sport we're talking about. You can put him out there, and you're like, that dude can cover somebody, is a cover corner. He could probably go get it in center field for you. I mean, he just looks like a great athlete.
Go get it in center field. Yeah. Little baseball reference there.
Okay. So I think Elijah Fisher is a guy at 5 points per game he's going to mean so much more to your team than that so far. So I think it's just him, kind of settling into his spot and all that. I want to throw one more name out at you just because it's my game, so I can pick as many people as I want.
Okay.
That I want to see increase his production.
Okay.
Robert Jennings. Because he's one of the few reserve bigs, and I feel like you need him to be more of a factor. If Bacho's going to be in foul trouble, if Kevin O'Banner's, he's in trouble or having a bad night, whatever. I feel like Robert Jennings gives you some size inside. You don't need him to be a big scorer, but you need him to be able to soak up some minutes and be productive a little bit, some rebounds, a couple buckets, whatever. So I think Robert Jennings is going to be a much bigger factor, or you need him to be, than he has been so far.
Okay. Who has the best basketball name on this roster?
Well, it can't be Kerwin Walton.
No, he sounds like, no. It's got like two last names.
Lamar Washington sounds like a basketball player.
Okay. I think Elijah Fisher has the best basketball name.
I think he just has the coolest name.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Bacho and O'Banner were at the women's game last night, and Davion Harmon has come. All of them have been pretty supportive. Somebody says this off the 8 Flooring Center chat line. With some of the answers that come on questions, I have expected someone to answer AMAC.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, we haven't. He's going to be way better than he has been so far.
Sure.
Although he hasn't missed a shot.
To answer Chuck's question, since I didn't answer Jamie's, and I feel bad about that.
It's passed.
KJ
My question
Allen
was so boring.
Good basketball name.
KJ Allen is a good basketball name. Yeah.
Because you get the quick nickname KJ, and you also get the Allen, and it's short, it's simple. Allen for three. Bang guns a 3-ball. You can hear that.
Yeah.
Even though
Pop Isaacs. Pop seems like that seems like an old man name. Pop.
Yeah, I know, because it's usually dad.
Yeah.
Pop is dad.
Your morning dose of coffee and sports. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3. Catch the show live weekdays from 6 to 9 on Double T 97.3 FM or on the Double T 97.3 mobile app.
Thank you for being with us this morning on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com. With regard to the NFL, but man, don't look now, but the Washington Commanders, they're 5-5. They're in the hunt.
Okay, in the hunt, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. They're still ways behind the Cowboys and Giants and Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But they're in the hunt. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with them. It'll be interesting to see how the Eagles respond to their loss, their first loss of the season. They're now 8-1 on the year. So, we got a little bit of time to get you to Sunday. And the Eagles play at the Indianapolis Colts, coached by Jeff Saturday, whose team beat the Las Vegas Raiders. Man, a lot of passionate voices speaking about the Jeff Saturday situation. You had Bill Cowher coming out and basically saying it's a disrespect for the coaching profession, and you had Pat McAfee responding, basically telling him to go stick it. So, Pat McAfee's he's a pretty opinionated guy.
Yeah, I mean, he who has the gold makes all the rules.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, have you not figured that out in life?
No, it didn't take me long.
If Mr. Irsay, the owner of the Colts, wants to hire a guy that he's friendly with and thinks highly of that hasn't been coaching the team, then it's his right to do it.
Yeah.
Okay?
No, you're exactly right.
Bill Cowher, when you own your team, then you can hire whoever you want as your GM or your head coach.
Yeah, no, it's just surprising that Bill Cowher would step out there like that. That was we talked about that a little bit yesterday. That he was not usually a guy that is one that sticks out. Let's see here. Somebody says, I guess this is the case. The season ended today. All the teams in the NFC East would be in the playoffs, which is impressive thus far this season. Yeah, the same thing with the AFC.
Even the Commanders would be in.
Yeah, I just looked at that too. I just kind of looked at that too. And somebody said the same thing for the AFC East. So when I looked at the standings, and just clicked over to the playoffs. So in the NFC, yeah, the Commanders would be in there as well. But here we are. I mean, we're got quite some time there. Somebody backs up what Jeff was saying with regard to Dallas on Thanksgiving Day. They're 3-7 in the last 10 years, so I was a little off on that. Again, the tryptophan.
The who?
The tryptophan. When you eat a lot of turkey, the tryptophan.
That's the drug in the turkey that makes you go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
And miss the game.
Yeah, right. Miss the game. Well, parts of it. I mean, it's not the...
My turkey is laced. Is that what you're telling me?
Could be, yeah. I mean,
there's drugs in my turkey.
Well, the chemical that is part of the makeup of the turkey, it's not being added. It's there naturally. That's the thing that makes you sleepy.
I don't think you eat enough turkey to have a tryptophan effect.
No, probably not.
Would be my guess.
Is there tryptophan in this show?
Yeah, some days.
Or getting up early in the morning?
No,
that makes me sleepy.
There's I think we wear on you.
I think
it's
the morning, Chuck. I don't think it's the show.
We wear on you. We know
early morning hours.
We wear on you. We know that. Do you think the Cowboys should sign Odell Beckham Jr.?
Oh boy. I do have to give him credit. It feels like he did a good job of staying under the radar for the most part last year in LA and making it about football and not about him and being productive for them. And so maybe I should give him the benefit of the doubt here. But my initial reaction is, man, why would you want to bring in that distraction?
Mm-hmm.
The receiving core has been okay, not great, but okay.
Do you think it's the same level of distraction as Terrell Owens, or do you think it's less?
I think it's probably less.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. Here's the thing about Beckham, and apparently, according to Jay Glazer, he says that Beckham has been medically cleared. He tore the ACL in his left knee during the Super Bowl last year, That was in the first half. He was en route to being the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it probably wouldn't have had to do a whole lot in the second half to be the MVP of the Super Bowl. Adam Schefter from ESPN, okay, here we go, has the Bills, the Chiefs, Cowboys, 49ers, and Giants as potential teams. How would you feel about Odell Beckham Jr. with the Buffalo Bills?
They don't need him.
Okay.
I mean, let's also think
They need their quarterback to play better, not their wide receivers. Not another wide receiver.
Go through that list again.
Bills, Chiefs, Cowboys, 49ers, and Giants.
That's 5 NFL teams that could sign him today.
Mm-hmm.
He's not signed. Jerry Jones, take the hint. That tells you that those are 5 teams that need a wide receiver. Now, granted, one of them is the Cowboys, but 4 other teams who are needing a wide receiver aren't jumping at the chance to get him. Take the hint.
Yeah. It's believed, according to the CBS sports article, that Beckham is looking for a long-term deal. He's just turned 30 and coming off his second major knee injury.
Who would give him a long-term deal?
Yeah. I think that's part of why he's still on the sideline. So we'll see. We'll see what transpires there. It's funny. I was on my way home last night, and I was listening to Double T 97.3, and this guy called into the show, whatever show was on. I can't remember the name of it. And he was basically making a case for the Bills. He kept saying 17 would be good for Odell Beckham, for OBJ.
I don't care what's best for OBJ. Okay.
Well, best for the Bills, too.
I care more about what's better for the Bills.
Mm-hmm. I think he's going to look at that 4 feet of snow that's coming there and go, man, my feet are going to get cold.
Well, he's played in New York and Cleveland. I don't know.
Maybe he's used to it. Yeah, right.
I think he'd be all right with it.
Maybe he liked, and clearly the Rams didn't sign him. We get this from Texan. Cowboys just need better quarterback play.
Then I'd say the same thing about Buffalo.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, he got injured.
He's thrown multiple picks in 3 straight games, and fumbled at the goal line to cost you the game.
Yeah, that was not good.
I mean, it's on him.
Do you think he got a little full of his balloons himself?
I don't care.
Okay.
I just think he's playing poorly.
Play better?
Figure it out, dude. I have no idea if he got full of himself.
Okay.
I don't know the dude. I've not been around him.
Okay. Haven't been around 17.
I just think he's playing poorly. That's what I think.
I wonder if the Chiefs have run this by Patrick Mahomes. I wonder how he would feel about having Odell Beckham Jr. on the Chiefs.
He liked having Tyreek Hill on the Chiefs. Yeah. I mean, Odell Beckham's,
model citizen.
National Medal of Honor quality citizen compared to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And Tyreek Hill's having a
and when
heck
Odell
of a year
Beckham talks, you don't need a translator.
No, you don't. No, you
probably a lot easier to communicate with.
Mm-hmm. You don't need a translator either for Joey Maguire. He'll be on Red Raider Football with Joey Maguire tonight at 6. He speaks plain Lubbock talk.
Good,
Joey Maguire.
We like that.
We do, and there's really no controversy tonight. I don't feel like you're not going in there wanting to know who the quarterback's going to be. Tyler Shuck's going to start. I feel like you're relatively healthy. I mean, you don't have Tyree Wilson on the defense, and that's huge. But you know that. You know that. You've known that since halftime of the KU game. Mm-hmm. And it's a really unfortunate loss. It's a big loss for that defense.
You've been listening to the Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3. For more from Lubbock Sports Station, go to doublet973.com.